Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Work Abroad Wednesdays. And today I'm going to be talking all about the reasons why everyone, I firmly believe this, should work abroad at least once in their lives. And this video goes beyond the obvious live your best life stuff that you see on Instagram to actual practical reasons that you must consider if you want to have longevity in your career, a better lifestyle, and lots of other benefits. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Dels. I am a lawyer, international business strategist, and a career coach who is passionate about helping high achievers just like you to transition from unfulfilling jobs to exciting new careers that they love anywhere in the world. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like, comment, and engage with this video. If you're already a subscriber, it is fantastic to see you again. If you're already a subscriber, you already know that I have spent the past 10 or so years living abroad. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm British, so I was born in England. However, I was raised in Nigeria, so I also have that African element of actually growing up there as opposed to just, being of that heritage, Niger for life. And also I've worked in places as diverse as London, all the way to Dubai, Singapore, on business trips, the US, blah, 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 right? So I have that international exposure and I can actually speak on this as someone who has built a professional career internationally and not just done the digital nomad working remotely thing. That itself is fantastic. And I've done that too when I left law to begin my tech and business consulting career. I will link that video somewhere up here or there. I never know which way to point in these videos about the time when I was living in Colombia. But like I said, today's video is all about showing you why you should strongly consider working abroad and how the Career Game Changer program will help you with that. But first things first, let's talk about the most obvious benefit that everyone knows, and then I'm going to head off to the more practical and unusual thing that many people don't actually factor in their decision-making process. And given how political everything is now in most of the countries where we live, having this asset is really going to help you. So let's dive into it. The first reason why everyone should really think about working abroad is the fact that you can earn considerably more. The HSBC Expat survey found that millennials on average earn at least 35% more when they work abroad. And I've shared how in my experience, I was able to triple my salary. I literally accelerated all the way to multiple six figures by living abroad. And something that was even more of a benefit as a result of that was the second reason why you should also consider working abroad is the fact that it's a lot more tax efficient. A lot of us live in jurisdictions where you are taxed nearly half of your salary, and it's so painful when you work so hard or you've really blitzed yourself the whole year, and by the time your bonus hits your bank account, you're like, have I been robbed? I remember one of my friends, she used to work in investment banking and I think she was in equity research. She had killed herself all year. And to be honest, you don't really have a choice in certain roles. And I think she got paid a bonus of 100K. And by the time that money hit her account, it was like half of that. And my mind was blown at the time because I was still a junior professional. I just started earning money with my first legal job. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, my hours are insane. And you're telling me that even when I get a bonus, that gets rinsed by the government? So when you work abroad, and if you plan this in a very tax efficient way and you choose the countries that you want to work in, you realize actually that you could end up in a situation where you're paying zero tax like me. So I chose to live in Dubai. I was there for 7 years and I only moved back to London because of the panorama. So it's just been a bit of an adjustment being back in London. And as soon as our borders are open, your girl is out. But I lived in Dubai primarily because I wanted to save money. And I've said this many times, I don't have a bank of mom and dad. My parents are fantastic. They did well, God bless them. And they really tried their best to set me up as best as they could through my whole educational journey. But the matter of fact was that I had to work throughout most of my education all the way. I think I've worked all of my life at this point. Like, my first job was at McDonald's. I talked about that in the video that I'm going to link here. So for me, getting on the property ladder was so important, and I couldn't do that because I didn't have enough money to raise a deposit in London, even though at this point I was working for one of the best law firms in the world and I'd finally started earning money. But I realized it was going to take me a lot longer to get those funds for that apartment. So I decided to strategize using the framework that I teach in the Career Game Changer program, and I used that to pivot into working in Dubai. My alternative was was to actually work in Singapore, and they have a progressive tax system. Max, I think it's 22%. Compare that to the UK where it's like 40% if you're a higher income tax earner. So if you are really certain and you're driven by the prospect of financial independence, you don't want to work for someone for the rest of your life, then you should really consider working abroad. Beyond the financials, the third reason why you should really consider working abroad is the progressive impact it has on your career. Honestly, like if you have international experience, it just accelerates you and gives you that competitive edge against other candidates because it shows recruiters a number of things. One, that you're adaptable because you're able to survive living and working in a different country. Two, that you're flexible, which follows on from that. It also demonstrates your communication skills because you've had to live and work in a place where people are different from you. It also shows that you have a different perspective on things and you can bring value because not only are you seeing things the way that it's always been done in your local market, but you're bringing a fresh international perspective to the work that you are probably going to be doing. So this is something that I highly recommend. Even if you feel like, I love my home. You don't have to move abroad permanently, but you can do a short-term secondment for like 6 months, even 3 months is something. It's enough to really set you apart from the competition in your industry. This brings me on to the fourth reason why working abroad is excellent, and it's the fact that you can enjoy higher living standards. This follows on from the obvious, your income, tax efficiencies and everything. But if you move to a place where perhaps the weather is better than your home country, then in any case, you're going to feel so much happier because you have a lot more to do with your spare time. When I lived in Dubai, I was 10 minutes from the beach, and that was just an incredible experience because you guys know I was working long, crazy hours. I was doing this in London and also doing the same in Dubai. But the difference was I could look outside of my window and see the sunshine and feel better. I could go for a coffee and get that vitamin D on my skin. Unlike in London where you step outside and you're just drenched, you look like a drowned rat and you're not even like excited about the possibility of even leaving the office to go home because of your journey, right? But in Dubai it was kind of different. I could go to the beach on weekends. There were many times where in fact I even took the documents and the contracts I was reviewing and I would just take them to the beach with me. I feel like you just feel happier when you live in a place that's aligned with what you like. I know some people hate the sun, so maybe Dubai won't work for you, but you could move to a colder country and feel that nice crisp cold. That is not for me. I like the sun, the tropics, the beach and stuff like that, but you catch my drift. The fifth reason is something that if you are all about your personal development and expanding your mindset, then it's just like, why are you not even thinking about this? The fact is, working abroad allows you to have an expanded world view. If you grew up in a small town and you've only been around the same people, you will have a small mindset. It's just the reality because you can't dream about things that you've not seen. You can't grow if you don't know that the world is big and can contain you. So basically, working abroad really shows you the fact that there's more to life than the little bubble that you're in. It also helps you feel appreciative of things, right? It's kind of like when you travel to places and you see that people are earning like a third of what you earn, but they are so much happier. Professionally, I've talked about this already, but you cannot underestimate the value of working around people that are from different backgrounds to you and how that impacts the way that you think. My friendship circle is the best. I have girlfriends from all over the world. My best friend is Australian. I have Chinese friends, Afghani friends, like my circle with the united colors of Benetton, and I love that. And the great thing is that no matter where I end up in the world, I feel like I know at least one person that lives close or can refer me to someone where I need help or anything like that. It's just fantastic for your networking, for your mindset. You realize that there's more to life than the brainwashing and the social conditioning that perhaps you have where you live. Right, we have come to one important reason that many people miss out on and they don't even really think about this. But if you come from a minority background or from those countries where your passport is not that solid, then you probably already know this. I cannot talk about how grateful I am for the fact that I'm a dual citizen. I know that that is such a privilege in its own right, and if I tell you what my parents had to do to make sure that I was set up for this, then you would appreciate why this is something that you should strongly consider. So the last reason why working abroad is something that I think everyone should do is it gives you the option of getting a Plan B citizenship. And the reason why this is so important should be clear if you're from a place like the US, where if you move abroad, they tax you extra jurisdictionary. Like what? They tax you extra jurisdictionally. That's it. So basically, anywhere you work in the world, right, I think that the US system tries to dip in your pockets. But beyond that, politically, if you are in a place, especially for my Black people, I'm just being frank here, where you feel like you're not safe, everything is set up against you, then please try and find your way to somewhere else where you can feel at peace. It's so sad when I think about this, that growing up, like, the US was my do or die. When I lived in Nigeria, I was like, I don't want to go back to England. I want to move to the US. And now as an adult, I look at the US and California, which was my dream, obviously, because I love the sun. And I'm just like, what is going on? It's like the wild, wild west out there, guys. What's happening? Someone tell me. And I really feel for people who feel like they just want a different way of living. And if you move abroad to work, you can stay there for a time. Hopefully you stay there for long enough where you can actually start your way into the whole citizenship process. So for example, in the UK, I don't remember the exact number right now, but if you've worked in the UK for like 5 years or something, then after a point, you get the option where you can apply for a residency permanent or permanent leave to remain, and then you do that for a few years and then you can actually get citizenship. Similar thing for if you wanted to work somewhere like Canada, and there are so many benefits to having an extra citizenship. So if you strategize your international move right, you can get yourself a citizenship of another country and a guaranteed Plan B if things hit the fan in your home country. If you really want to know how to develop, elevate, and accelerate your career by working abroad, then click the link in the description below to find out how you can join the Career Game Changer program and be invited to our live private advanced training that I'm going to be hosting in a couple of weeks. Depending on when you watch this video, it might already be live. So if you are interested in knowing how to transcend where you live right now and getting a new exposure, a new experience by working abroad, then make sure that you sign up for that. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Toodles!